Baruch Hashem, it is day number 314 of our daily study of Rambam, Sefer HaMitzvos. And yesterday we started the 14th book of the 14 books of Mishnah Torah in the 3 chapters a day study track of Mishnah Torah. The name of this first section in Sefer Shoftim, which literally means the book of Judges, is Hilchos Sanhedrin, the laws of the high court, the ha'oinshin, and the punishments, hamasurin lahem, which are given over to them to administer. And we're going to actually get into some of those punishments in today's mitzvahs. Okay, we have 4 mitzvahs today. The first is negative commandment 282, the prohibition against issuing the death penalty by a majority of 1. Let me explain. We just learned yesterday that there's a concept of majority rule. And majority means a simple majority. So if you have 3 judges, 2 against 1. If you're dealing with a capital sentence, meaning the death penalty, so then it cannot be a simple majority of 1. It has to be at least 2. So let's say, for instance, we're talking about the Sanhedrin, where you have 71 votes, 71 separate rabbi judges. So technically, if you would have 36 against 35, that's a majority, right? 36 plus 35 would be 71. But you cannot convict and carry out a death sentence with 36 against 35. It would have to be 37 against 34. Okay. The next mitzvah, negative commandment 283, is the prohibition against giving a ruling, basically being a copycat. I guess what I'll call it. What do I mean by a copycat? I mean, if you are a judge and you vote a certain way just because somebody else voted that way, and you haven't actually thought it through and figured out if the law actually leads you to this conclusion, so that is a prohibition. Not allowed to do that. You have to actually think it through and figure out why it makes sense to you, based on your understanding of the Torah's laws, that this should be the decision. Positive commandment 229. Now we're getting into the punishments, specifically the death penalty. Yes, there is death penalty in Torah law. No, it's not currently in effect and hasn't been in close to 2,000 years. The death penalty only existed during the times of the Sanhedrin, and even then it stopped being practiced even before the Sanhedrin was disbanded. And even in the times when it was carried out, it was done extremely rarely. There is an opinion that in the Talmud that a court that carried out the death penalty even once in 7 years was considered to be a violent court. And there's another opinion that says even if the court carried out the death penalty once in 70 years, that would be considered excessive. You would say, wow, take it easy, guys. You're getting a little carried away there with the death penalty. So, positive commandment 229 is the mitzvah to carry out the execution by stoning for those who the Torah law determines are punished by death through stoning. Yes, it's gruesome, but this is the mitzvah. Okay. And I don't think I will get into the details to describe exactly how that stoning was done, but if you really want to know, you can look it up in the Mishnah Torah, and he explains it graphically. Okay, positive commandment 228 is execution by burning, what's called sreifa. I also don't want to get too graphic, but the burning is not setting somebody on fire. I used to think that when I was a kid. Actually, it's swallowing molten metal. As I said, it is gruesome, but these are the death penalties. Now, there are 4 total forms of death penalty. Each one of them is a mitzvah when applicable. and we've learned 2 out of the 4. Okay, those are our mitzvahs for today. We'll see you tomorrow for more, God willing.